Hello, everybody. Welcome to a special Sunday episode post Xbox Showcase 2024.
Yeah, the new E3.
Oh yeah!
Yep. I thought we were going over a wrestling event, so I wore my Hulk Hogan Ultimate Warrior shirt. I was thinking Sunday old school pay-per-view, but I got confused.
It happens.
It does. So, anyway, very interesting event for good and bad. We have not talked about it since we each watched it independently. So this should be quite interesting. In and of itself, not a bad event. I don't,
Overall, not bad. I don't think there was any big surprises overall to me. But
So, what do you say? I'm thinking we might just do it sort of in the layout that they did. You want to jump into some of the preview games and
yeah, just go down the list.
Okay.
So
of course, the big focus of this whole event, Call of Duty. It's owned by Microsoft now. They're going to push it to the moon, especially being that far down the list of sequels that they've had. They've got to do what they can to keep it on top. So they opened with Call of Duty 6. Of course, lots of cinematics. The game looks like set in the 90s. There was a traitor in the government. They used a lot of live footage of presidents and the usual stuff to try to kind of almost blend that real versus game type of stuff, as usual.
it's pretty standard Call of Duty. Looks good.
Yeah.
I mean, all of them look good. I mean, they have I think like 8 studios that work on Call of Duty at this point. So I mean,
I was surprised, though. They said it had been 10 years since it's been in the showcase.
well, that's
I didn't even realize that.
because Sony's
Until
Sony's been paying quite a lot of money to have
and I didn't catch it.
exclusives.
I mean, I knew it had been some time, but a
Yeah.
decade. I was like, that kind of came as a shocker. So they kind of opened up with that. Like I said, a lot of campaign and cinematic play. Really, almost didn't mention the multiplayer right off the bat at all.
They're having a separate Call of Duty event apparently later to talk about multiplayer. So
Yeah.
but even that, I don't know. I play Warzone. I haven't really played a Call of Duty campaign for a while. I bought this last year's one thinking I would, and I didn't at all. Played more Warzone and Team Deathmatch. That's about it. And then the last big one I played was probably when they pushed the 360 Call of Duty.
Yeah.
The original, not the original PC one, but the one on 360 that was the World War II Call of Duty. And that one was great. So, I don't know.
And
I personally don't really get excited about Call of Duties. They're good games. They
look fantastic. And a confession of mine, and he knows it already. I typically don't play them because I tried about 3 in a row, and with that kind of shuffle side to side swaying movement, I get very motion sick on that. Battlefield was fine. Call of Duty,
it's probably going to get worse.
Yeah.
Because I watched a little bit of they added the 30 minutes Call of Duty at the end.
I saw most of that.
And they had that new movement.
Yeah,
Where your guy sprints
was it
strafe.
like the Omni?
Yeah, he can sprint strafe, right? Which is cool. But you can dive any direction, spin while you're diving. It'll auto hurdle stuff if you turn it on. But overall, it was a trailer. Game Pass day 1,
October 25th.
And the final kicker, though, 309 gigs.
Which explains some other stuff, but we'll go into Call of Duty some more later. I want to keep going on the list, and then we'll
So we got Doom Dark Ages. Which,
all right, now that when it first came on, I was like, look at Master Chief putting on Mad Max gear. That's what it looked like. It looked like Master Chief was putting on his, well, speaking of wrestling, his Road Warrior spikes and was going into battle. Like before he did this, he was this, and I'm like, all right.
And I was curious because the rumors came out a little bit about it, and I was like, the graphic style for Doom can fit with that. But I was wondering where they were going to go, and then you see him using a shield and a shotgun.
Oh yeah,
I was like,
and
that
some little
looks
circle with like blades on it, and I don't know if that was a shield or something.
yeah,
but
you throw it. I was like, that looks fun.
Yeah,
Like,
it does.
The Dooms have been good, and that it wasn't like just a hey, this is another Doom. This
Right.
was, we're adding something new, and it looked like to me though the worlds seemed a lot bigger because the last
Yeah.
couple Dooms have still been fairly streamlined levels. Mm-hmm. And then there was a flying.
Yeah,
He was like, so I think it's going to actually be really
I do
good.
too, and I'll say more about that. Some of these, the resurgence of some of these games a little bit later, but I agree. They changed it up, and I'm as excited as I was 3 Dooms ago. You know, so
Yeah, and the Game Pass, I mean, pretty much I think everything except maybe 1 or 2 games were Game Pass.
yeah, that was kind of funny
So-
to me because. Yeah, I noticed some didn't say it, some did. Some said day one, some didn't mention day one. I don't know if that was by design, if it was like guaranteed on Game Pass, but later. I don't know. We'll find out. But
But yeah, so then the next one, State of Decay 3, which everybody's been known as being made.
yeah,
That one did the in-game footage thing, but then you noticed it kind of like went into a third-person view. Like it was still the game, but without your HUD. So I couldn't tell if they actually were kind of in gameplay or
I
if it was
know.
still rendered. But it didn't show anything. It showed the car, like maybe you have extra car customization. That's about the only thing I got.
and I wrote that. If I keep looking down, I'm reading my notes, but it's yeah. I even wrote in there like all cutscenes because it kind of seemed like it, but like you said, there's a couple spots where it looked like maybe it's not. Time will tell. Either way, I think it looked pretty good. I thought 1 and 2 were very close to each other. This seems like a big break from
Yeah.
2. Again, another resurgence. This whole showcase to me was almost like sequels and returns of classics kind of type thing. It was some for better, some for worse. We'll get into that.
And that's kind of what the Microsoft has said, though. Like whenever they went through and got rid of and laid off of several companies recently, is it's come now from higher ups that they need to focus on what's there.
And I'll tell you, if this list of games we saw today is worth it, hey, okay, I'm with your game plan. We'll miss some of the independent stuff, but you know, it's not entirely bad.
Yeah, and Dragon Age.
Dragon Age, the Veil Guard. It was kind of a cool trailer. They introduced characters, which was kind of neat. They did the freeze frame on the character, said his or her name, which I thought was kind of neat. You know, to get you kind of a little more committed to it.
My thing is I don't get excited about trailers.
No,
It's
unless there's gameplay in the trailer.
right. It's got to have gameplay. Not the cinematic trailers. I don't care if it says in engine or not. If you're not showing me the actual gameplay, I just don't care.
And that may be by design, but in the back of my head, I'm like, what are you hiding? I want to see how it plays, and if it's that far out where you don't have that touched up, maybe you shouldn't be.
Yeah, I don't really even
Putting
care
it
to
out
see
yet,
it.
yeah.
I know a lot. Dragon Age is a big puller for people because it's been a while, but
It is, but I also, having, you know, when I was selling, I'm not saying any of them like perform badly, but the numbers did go way down for that. Was it the expansion? I think I think the most recent one was an expansion of. I'm trying to remember if it was official sequel or expansion. Anyway, so
Yeah.
long ago. Anyway, but it was going down. So, you know, maybe this is a. It's hard to say. The enemies looked absolutely huge.
yeah, I mean, it looks like
But-
it'll be good, I guess. But
Yeah,
you know,
no
I'll just-
gameplay is going to make it hard.
Yeah, the characters seemed cool. Lots of classes. That's about all I got out of that.
Starfield.
The Starfield expansion, Shattered Dimensions.
I think it looked really good.
Yeah,
It's looks like I mean, it's not a cash grab by any means. Looks like typical.
so
You know, they put a lot into it.
well, and then in typical so this one I don't believe even said Game Pass, which that stands true with how Game Pass works for most of these. Is they've always done it. Generally, 9 times out of 10, the expansions are not on Game Pass. You always buy them. So,
Tricky.
yeah, I mean, it to me it looked good, looked great. Looked like they're adding more stuff to Starfield. I mean, I didn't see anything really to complain about.
Yeah. I mean, you think the canvas they can use too for DLC and all. I mean, you're in space, planets. You can do whatever you want. Sky's the limit. Shoot for the stars. Solar fish.
Then we got Fallout 76 expansion.
Yeah.
Which this said Game Pass at the end.
It did. See, I missed that.
See, I'm pretty sure it did, which that kind of surprised me, but I have a feeling that's because the Fallout TV show, Fallout 76, gained like 1 million players after the show.
Yeah.
Like a crazy number.
And that worried me. So Fallout 76 Skyline Valley, not the chili. Isn't there a chili called Skyline Chili? It's really good. If there is some sky thing, somebody out there knows what I'm talking about. I'm worried about that one because, like he just referred to, the TV show was enormous. Fallout 76 had been pretty quiet for a while, and all of a sudden, oh hey, by the way, we got this new DLC for it, and I was looking at it, looked okay. I'm almost wondering, even with the commercial, where they had the black and white guy kind of almost like bridging the gap between the game and the show, having a live kind of Vault 33 set there. I'm just wondering if they're capitalizing off the show too much.
I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
they've been putting out expansions like crazy still for it.
Have
and they've
they?
been
See,
fixing it.
maybe I missed some because I just hadn't.
I mean, at launch, there wasn't even an NPC to talk to.
Yeah,
And
I
I
remember that.
I jumped back in like a month ago just to see if it's changed, because I was like, that'd be a fun game to play on one of the handhelds. And your very first mission's a quest. You go talk to people in a bar. So they've been revamping it, and apparently, I mean, it didn't crash under a million players joining. So I have a feeling they've been working on it, but I think the tie to the show was they said a ghoul. You can be a ghoul in 2025.
Yeah.
Which that means,
Who knows if it's finished?
right? That means that part's not even.
We just got to get it out now.
But I mean, that expansion said June 12th.
Yeah.
So the ghoul part, though, I
this
think
week.
that was I think that was the show. Like, hey, people loved the character in the show.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. He was the show pretty much to me.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, quick, let's put out a video with a ghoul real quick and
say you could be him if
next
you
year,
want.
in a year.
Yeah, later. So yeah, who knows? We'll see if it's a cash in or if there's some meat on that bone.
Expedition 33,
This was a world premiere,
and it's
2025, day one Game Pass.
not a Microsoft Game Studio, I believe. Sandfall Interactive, and I mean, it looked like a steampunk magic kind of turn-based RPG. Combat had some quick button presses. It looks fancy. Probably not my type of game personally, but it looked good.
It did. So this one, I went back and watched to see if I could pick out kind of what the story was, because it caught my eye too. And again, like he said, I swear we play the same stuff, but not my typical kind of game. But I am excited about this one. They said like there's a painter that paints death, and then teams are sent out every year to stop her, and nobody has until now.
Which makes me wonder if it's got that like roguelike gameplay where you send your squad out to get abused, but you get to keep the upgrades for the next new unit to go out.
Maybe.
And that's what I thought. So I was kind of wondering that, but
but it looked great. Huge enemies. There was a lot of gameplay footage, and that's probably what helped pull me towards it. The story, even in that little snippet, caught my eye. So I am kind of excited about that. Expedition 33.
and then now one that it was announced before. I honestly forgot about it. South of Midnight. by the Compulsion Games, which made the the We Are game with the like mime looking face.
Oh,
I'm trying to blanked on the name.
I picture the guy, but
everybody's been
face,
wondering what they've been working on since Microsoft bought them.
well, there you go.
Yeah, they showed it a long time ago, I think, but it looks cool.
Yeah, I couldn't figure out what was going on. There's a lady running from an alligator with an island on his back, and then this
It seems like
big fish is telling her stories.
It seems like giant monsters seem to be the
yeah,
new thing, because even in Doom they showed some massive monsters, but it looked really cool. I don't really like the weird like skipping animation style.
yeah. It was very animated Spider-Man movie-ish, and I thought that too. I even wrote that down. I get the look. It's a popular look, especially for animation. In a game, though, you're going to be accused of making it choppy or having a frame rate problem. And
yeah, I imagine the gameplay hopefully will be more fluid. It seemed a little, right now, like there's what they showed, the gameplay seemed a little bare bones.
Yeah.
But it looked like it had some really cool things. I mean, you got the little, like the grappling hook you could do, looked like you could glide, but then I'm always for like the giant monsters and stuff. So
yeah. Well, and it kind of went in and out of the cinematic sequences really flawlessly. I mean, she was grappling, and then all of a sudden they were talking, and then she's back jumping off the roof, and I think that's going to be an intriguing one.
I just personally hope it doesn't have like the Souls-like combat. I'm not a fan of that. Lots of people are. I play too many random games to keep playing one. Then we got WoW expansion. I mean, you know
the
who
next one that I won't let myself play.
I mean, you know who you are. It comes out in August. It was cinematic trailer.
Yep, and that's it.
Enjoy. I was kind of hoping maybe they're gonna tease like WoW coming to Xbox or something, because it's really doable at this point. The game's not that high end of
Right.
powerhouse, but great. I mean, good.
Yep.
If you like it, you like it.
Yep. It's there you go. World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
The War Within.
Then Metal Gear, Snake Eater. It didn't say, if I'm not mistaken, it did not say a date at all. Did it?
I don't think so. I didn't write it down, and I wrote down a lot of them, but
And I was like,
I don't think so. It looked like. So is it a remake of Snake
I think
Eater?
it's the remake,
Because they didn't really mention that, or didn't say remastered, or.
I think it's more of the Microsoft and Square Enix are friends again.
That
type
being
trailer.
said, it looked good. I thought. I mean, it looked like it went back to the roots of the game. A younger Solid Snake, with.
I mean, I didn't play Snake Eater when it came out the first time, so it looks good, but it'll get amazing reviews because
now's your chance.
Yeah, it'll get amazing reviews because it's Metal Gear. No matter if it's good or bad, it'll get amazing reviews.
Yeah.
And I probably still won't play it. I'm just not a stealth gamer.
See, and I kind of am now. I missed some of the Metal Gear was big on PlayStation. I think I forget the years, but there was a time, and I was more of an Xbox guy, so I missed some. But I played Metal Gear on Nintendo, the original, and actually beat it. I don't know how. It used a lot of Nintendo Power maps, but people don't even know what I'm saying right now, probably.
No, you're just saying words.
I'm just saying I'm old. That's what I'm saying. Anyway, I thought it looked good. I like Hitman. I like Splinter Cell. So I think I'll give that one a shot myself. And kind of excited for it. Next one.
Sea of Thieves.
Season 13.
I mean, it's trucking along.
I didn't know I didn't know there was a season 3.
Yeah, I mean, they've
And it's a 13. Well, look at that.
they've taken the Battle Royale season mode, Battle Pass stuff, where it's
Yeah.
a new season every 4 months.
Yeah.
I mean, the game's fun. I mean, that's another one where,
Like World of Warcraft.
yeah, you know who you are if you like Sea of Thieves. More content.
You're not going to get a new audience from it.
No,
Just
you can be a villain. That's
they're
what
just
I saw.
keeping the one they have.
It's fun. I like it, but it doesn't have me excited or anything.
All right, the next one from the makers of Ashen, Flintlock Siege of Dawn, Day 1 Game Pass.
That's in a month.
Yeah, it looked decent. They kept saying it was all about killing the gods.
It looks good.
You know, probably not something I'm gonna play.
No, it looked kind of neat because you'd switch. Like it was like you had a pet, and you switched to him, and like would be able to traverse with it. But like I just covered, it says it was a Souls-like. I'm not gonna play it personally. Looks neat if you like those types of games, especially if you liked Ashen, which is supposed to be pretty good. But that was a Souls-like too, so I didn't touch it.
All right, here's one for me, Age of Mythology.
Yep.
Which I really enjoyed. Age of Empires and Age of Mythology.
I am just happy there are some RTSs still being made at this point.
I mean, and it looked fantastic. I mean, some of those giants just walking through the fences and walls and stuff. And the thing that's cool is, like, I mean, that game hasn't been out in so long. Again, people probably don't know what I'm talking about right now, Age of Mythology. I think it's cool, and I think it can grab a whole new generation of people, assuming that type of game catches on in the modern era.
That's the thing. I think they're
You
dying.
know?
I really think
I
RTSs
agree,
are
and
dying.
I do
It
too.
makes me
I think
sad.
I'll have fun with it, but me and one other guy might
Well,
be the only ones.
The one thing once I saw, I knew exactly what game it was.
Yeah.
I'm excited for it too. And at the end, it actually said Xbox. So
So how's the controller gonna be? That was my
I
other
mean,
fear.
Age of Empires 4 is great.
Yeah, I
So-
still have this fear though, because there has been some that are just they tried too much with it, and then they lose me. It's kind of like when Age of Empires brought the cards on. I didn't want cards in my game. Like, I just wanted to build my armies.
Yeah, I mean, Age of Empires 4 controlled fine on Xbox. So I think it's going to be the exact same controls probably.
Yeah.
I didn't try Company of Heroes 3 on the consoles. I have that on computer, but I think it'll be fine. And then the ever-rumored Turbulent game that supposedly has been in development hell, Perfect Dark,
Finally, real.
except no date.
No date. Joanna Dark is back.
They
Crystal Dynamics is back.
Well, so to me, it looked like it was like a futuristic Babylon. It looked like a new Deus Ex.
And it did. And see, I wrote Outer Worlds meets Mirror's Edge.
Yes.
Because, yeah, and I may, again, back to my Call of Duty flashbacks of getting motion sick. Not sure I can do this one because she was sliding under stuff and swinging, and you know, I'll take a Dramamine maybe and try.
Well, and
it.
this is the first real game from their all-star Microsoft Studio, The Initiative, which I also kind of made me laugh when they said they added Crystal Dynamics to it a few years ago. It's like, well, you made an all-star team and then you hire another company to join in.
And them.
It'll probably be good, but I mean, they didn't have a date.
Right.
So it's probably 2026 or beyond. It's probably the next Xbox.
Yeah. I mean, the snippets, it looked like gameplay and it looked pretty complete, but, you know, I mean, who really knows?
It was probably
based on that.
the first, they showed us the first 5 minutes of gameplay, and that's as far as they have. Diablo 4 expansion.
Vessel of Hatred, this October.
New class and new map location.
And that trailer was disgusting. That was gruesome. I was like, oh, why?
Diablo 4 looks like that, honestly.
Yeah, I
like
know,
its
but
game trailers, in-game, and everything are pretty rough.
Yeah, that was...
I think it'll be cool. I've been enjoying Diablo 4, but I'm not one of the hardcore Diablo players that goes to the end game and then plays it for 100 more hours and then complains because it doesn't have enough to it.
Yeah.
I just have fun as a hack and slash, might beat the game and then play a little more. So that'll be cool, but once again, it was just a movie trailer, so I mean,
I'm sure it'll be
it's just
fine. A new class. I mean, they haven't really failed on that front before, so
yeah, I mean,
you know.
I don't think it's a bad thing.
Okay, this one was pretty cool. I love the trailer when the dude came up and started cracking jokes. Like, honestly, to me, he looked real in the lighting they had him in. Yeah. I was like, what's this guy talking about? And he's like, I'm retired and Humphrey, and 2025 Fable. Day one Game Pass. Kind of reminded me of like a modern day Bard's Tale. With the Fable feel to it.
And this time they actually, definitely showed some gameplay. Mm-hmm. And it looks good.
It did. It still looked like that. There's something, I don't even know what it was, but when you started seeing the gameplay, you could tell Fable. It had that look to it.
The thing I'm most curious about overall, though, is it's made by Playground Games, who made Forza Horizon. So they've made racing games.
Maybe he'll run real fast.
Yeah. They make excellent racing games.
Well, let's look at it this way. Whatever they do has been great.
Yeah. No, that's the thing. That's the only thing I'm curious on. It looks good. So
it did look good, and I like the humor.
They're bringing back, and they made it sure to stress choices too.
Yeah.
So they're definitely, I think, going to go that you're good or evil path again.
Kill the town and buy the houses. Huh?
Yeah, buddy. Can't wait.
They probably don't let you do that now.
I bet. They let you destroy the world and live in it by yourself.
Buy it.
Yeah.
All right. Next one, Frag Punk.
I'm assuming Frag Punks is a free to play hero shooter, 5v5.
Yeah, kind of that graffiti punk, Jet Set Radio style
kind
of look.
Yeah, it looks neat. It's jumping into a very competitive area.
It is, and I have to say, throwing cards into a first-person shooter like that,
I have a feeling it's more probably before a match. You might pick like 2 or 3 ultimate abilities, and you might not know which one you land on, and then when it comes up, maybe you use it, and then it changes the gameplay.
I think I'm just against cards in games, because I just said a minute ago, Age of Empires, didn't like the cards. This one, it looked cool, except for the stupid cards. And then it just hit me like that NFL, what was it? Wild card, that recent one that came
Wild
card game. And you picked the cards ahead of the thing. Like, I didn't like that. I just wanted to play.
Yeah, no, I agree with that part.
I'm just not a card guy.
Well,
my apologies.
I think when it's slapped on like that, it's not good.
Yeah.
But like Marvel Midnight Suns.
Yeah, I hadn't played that yet.
If you played XCOM, it's turn-based. You actually level up your guy, and you have cards. You draw a hand of cards, and those are the attack abilities your guys have. There's no other way to interact. So it's a little bit on the board game side, but it was actually integrated in gameplay, not just like, let's just throw this out here and add an extra weird ability.
Yeah, it looks like they did it well. You see the hand come up, and it.
Yeah, it looks. And the game.
Then you saw the heads of the other guys grow or something, and.
The graphics, everything looks good, but I don't know how many free-to-play shooters can last.
Right.
Because even like one of the more recent big ones, the finals, was fun. The world's like very destructible, and then it just vanished very quickly. Yeah. And then they just showed a trailer for a new season that added samurai to a shooter, which looks cool, but
it makes anything better.
Yeah, swords, but Then next one was a change of pace from all the third-person stuff. They got the Winter Burrows, the top-down mouse,
and my first thought was, what the heck? And then I was watching it, and I was like, it's a little mouse survival game, and he's crafting and stuff, and then his friend gets stolen by an owl, and I'm guessing not eaten, which is ridiculous, because that owl would have devoured him right away, right in front of his friend. But I'm on board, I have to say.
There's been a couple of those style survival games. Don't Starve, which was fun, except also impossible. And then there was Crashlands, your little yellow dude. And that's a survival game. I have a soft spot for survival games overall, though, too. So
you think you'll play Winter Burrow?
I will. It's Game Pass, so
no,
I'll play it.
That was like you said. There was kind of a theme going, and it's almost like those those RPG-ish, cast spells, kill things with your sword. It's almost like they spread them out to every other game. I mean, I was waiting for something different, and that was, like he said, a change of pace amongst the many of them.
And then next you got their, the story-rich games coming in, which
Mixtape in 2025.
graphics look cool. It looks like it changes perspectives, like 2D and 3D world and stuff.
It was like a teen adventure. It did have a cool soundtrack. I think Smashing Pumpkins, some other real songs on there, which captured the feel of, I think, what they were going for. Like, the trailer was cool. I didn't understand the goal or what the game was really about, because I see them running around doing teenager stuff, and then all of a sudden they're flying across a meadow, and I'm not really sure.
Yeah, I mean, looks like me, it's just like, hey, you're going to go relive high school and you can fly.
Yeah, and maybe there's some first-person shooter in there somewhere.
Yes.
I don't know.
It looks neat. I'm not, personally, not for me.
No, I don't really have any feelings towards that game. I'd be interested on exactly, like I said, what the goal is, and
I'm not
finding
even,
out.
I'm not even that interested.
Well, just curious. Like, what would you say it is you do here?
Yeah, I mean, to me, like, some of these games, like that one and some other ones, it's like, you know who this is for.
Yeah.
You know if you like that
It's
type
not
of
this
game.
guy.
It's not gonna open up, like, make me all of a sudden a huge fan.
Of teen adventures?
Yeah. Then you got, the Flight Simulator 2024. Flight Simulator, huge, amazing. I don't really play it, but this looked cool because it added careers. Like, you could,
Yeah.
I mean, I started to note them down, and then it just kept going.
Yeah.
I
It was, I wrote mission-based, because, so, the normal flight simulator, you're going airport to airport, stuff like that. I've played it. I've flown to places I've actually, lived at or been to just to see what it's like. It's fun, but it seemed like that was kind of it. But this one,
I put down, like, you could do commercial flight missions. You could be a Red Bull pilot,
Yep.
air ambulances, charter flights. There was, like, agricultural,
cargo,
there's like
transport,
bug spraying, like search and
yeah,
rescue.
hot air balloons.
Yeah,
You get to go see the Northern Lights in one episode.
Yeah, I mean, I literally stopped writing on the careers because I felt like there was like 20 different pods. I was like, that actually looks pretty fun.
And good for them. I think that was a fantastic move on their part, because they've been similar, through the years. They don't come out yearly, but same kind of thing, different planes and fly differently. And this, I think, is going to get a new audience to it because, again, when I worked at GameStop, it was a lot of pilots came in, military, and these are guys that built their own cockpits and stuff.
Yeah.
And they didn't mess around. And so honestly, this could
This
could turn them off on that, honestly. But like you just said, the casual fan.
See, I kind of doubt it will turn them off because it's going to be realistic controls.
Mm-hmm.
So like some of those pilots and stuff, they're not doing aerials and Red Bull planes
Until now.
It's going to control probably like it really does.
Mm-hmm.
November 19th,
So
Game Pass. The graphics are going to be amazing.
Oh yeah, no. I can't say I haven't played it, but right now it looks like a fantastic move by Microsoft to go that route.
And then now another exciting one for us. We got some
Hey,
Elder Scrolls Online expansion.
it's still out there.
June 18th, and you can play all expansions for free currently for like it didn't say how long, I don't think, but I don't
No, they had a cool trailer set to the '80s music. I think it was kind of to show the camaraderie between the team.
Because I haven't played Elder Scrolls.
Yeah.
I think I might have tried it, but I'm assuming if you don't have the DLC and your friends do,
Mhm.
they can go play it and you're just left behind.
Yeah.
So this is
They get to walk
hey.
down the golden road, and you don't get to.
Yeah, you just get to
So
get blocked by a pay now screen or something.
yeah, I didn't even really know it was still online, to be honest.
I think it still has a decent player base.
Yeah.
So good
It's
for
funny how those kind of games, that
They
and
just
Warcraft,
go.
they have their own world, and they don't have to advertise. They don't have to talk about it.
Yeah.
And when I used to sell the DLC, it was the same kind of thing. I'd only see those people every 6 months. That would be it.
And if you have friends that play these games, you only see them every 6 months. Too.
Yeah,
when
and they're all
they
pale.
Get through, when they get through the content, and you see
they're
them for
good
about,
people.
You see them for about 2 weeks.
Well, we just missed them. Okay.
The next one, I've never played any of these games.
I haven't either.
Life is Strange, double exposure, story based, looked awesome graphically.
Supernatural murder mystery. Lady was thrown in. There was a murder. She was thrown into a parallel timeline to try to solve it. Looked okay. Again, not my thing.
October 29th. You enjoy it? Good. Have fun.
Yep.
Now I know this next one's you probably got some strong feelings on the next one.
I've got feelings.
Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. It still comes out this year.
2024.
Which
Day One Game Pass.
The weird thing is a couple months ago they showed more gameplay footage of the game by far than what they even put in this.
It almost looked like they focused on one part of the story just to...
Yeah, it's like, hey, by the way, we did do an actual Indiana Jones story.
Right. And I think that was a good move. I think they could have shown some more gameplay, but showing the fact that, hey, we put this into it. You got Harrison Ford's likeness in there, and even his mannerisms. And he's right. I have feelings. I'm a big Indiana Jones fan. Always have been. Was pretty excited about this game, but I have to say, when the parts they showed today, it looked like an Xbox One game to me. They weren't very detailed, like compared to all the other gameplay and cinematics we'd seen today. It probably had the worst graphics of the cutscenes, and that kind of let me down some. Again, the story seemed right on par with what it should be, and I'm hoping that helps drive it. But I gotta say, the graphics kind of let me down, and I hope it's not a cash-in.
I think the graphics on the cutscenes were okay or fine. I think the issue was, to me, was the only thing moving was their faces. Like if their arms moved, it just wasn't much. Like it seemed like very kind of static cutscenes, except for their face. Like it was so focused. Hey, we can make a real looking face.
Yeah.
That their bodies were just not naturally moving much.
And I noticed even the background was kind of like, I know part of it was in the snow area, so it was probably. I don't know. I'm a little nervous about it.
I'm not as nervous on the gameplay. I'd probably personally skip story scenes all the time anyway. So it's made by
Don't care.
It's made by the team that made Wolfenstein, when Wolfenstein was good again. Those gaps of the terrible ones,
right?
Machine gun. So in the previous gameplay, actually looked fairly fun. Okay. I mean, if this cutscene stuck,
I hope so.
I'll just do what I do. I skip them unless. That's one of my problems with Metal Gear games. They don't let you skip cutscenes.
Yeah.
And they go on forever. But as long as I can skip cutscenes, I mean, it's on Game Pass. I'll probably play that one still.
And they did show parts all around the world, typical Indiana Jones. I'm still all in, but I think my expectations dropped after that.
I think my expectations for any game with a license from a movie starts low.
And that started in the 80s when there literally was not a good one.
Yeah.
Especially by LJN. If you guys don't know that company, go look it up. That and Acclaim. They made all the movie games, and they were all terrible.
They both had rainbows in their logos, though. Acclaim had the nice little rainbow fade in the letters, and then LJN did the little...
Yeah. Don't know what that has to do with it, but... All right, here we go. Go ahead.
Yeah, the Mecha break.
So they gonna make a break for it.
Big mech battles.
Do you think they did that as a joke? Time to make a break?
I doubt it. But sure. It looked cool.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
It was really fast paced. You were in a mech. They showed you changing the colors of the same mech, which I was like, why didn't you show different ones?
Well, I think it's probably an online game, but the speed of the game looked really cool.
Well, it looked rough too, and it looked like you couldn't avoid Even if you were fighting somebody, there was all these lasers coming out of the mountains at all times, and I think I would give up.
I think it's probably like a lot of mech games, though. The mechs are pretty durable, so you're probably going to be taking tons of shots before
Well, they
you
need to quit
actually
shooting
die.
me from the background.
Man.
Only shoot me from that guy and this guy.
I think it could be fun, 2025, but
Yeah.
there wasn't really much except mechs on the ground, mechs flying in the air, transforming between forms.
Yeah, it looked like it took place kind of in a force field bubble or something. Could be fun. It's one of those I question the longevity, though. You might get in and you're either going to love it and be oh, I got to customize every aspect of the mech and get the DLC, or you're going to be like, that was fun. I'm done. I'm good.
Now you got, I believe it's going to be Wuhan the Fallen Feathers.
Sure, we'll go with that. I'm not sure if that's how you say the first name, but
It looks like a Souls-like, the good old, like the feudal Japan setting.
I put run-of-the-mill kind of slasher game, and I wrote so-so. It didn't leave a mark on me.
I mean, like I said, it's all that everybody loves Souls-like now, so
Yeah,
it looks like another one of those. So I probably won't play it, but
yeah, that's becoming very saturated.
Now, Avowed, which made by Obsidian, so everybody's excited about that. This was an odd trailer, but I think they got a lot of backlash from the last time they showed gameplay because the AI didn't seem like it was doing much, like it was just kind of standing there.
So they just didn't show any
So
gameplay.
I think they just decided not to show gameplay this time.
You guys forget what you've seen before.
It's made by because the previous trailers for it showed you actually because they did Fallout New Vegas and stuff, so they actually showed the dialogue of choosing angry, like the different real choices in all these RPGs, and it so it actually mattered because of their game, and then this trailer didn't show anything.
Yeah, I kind of dismissed it. I'll be honest. When you're in the same kind of game as half of the ones in the showcase, you got to stand out, and it didn't.
No, and they've come out and said it's a shorter experience type game, but made by Obsidian, I feel like it'll be a good game, but that trailer was not.
Yeah,
Didn't help it.
not
in my
memorable.
Head. No.
Adamfall in 2025. I wonder what game they took inspiration from on this one.
Yeah.
Fallout a little bit.
Well, it's made by Rebellion, so Sniper Elite, which Sniper Elite's done zombies and stuff. So, in their same, it's like they're reusing their setting again of World War II, and then doing like that little alternative history thing, bringing in mechs and then the monsters and
Looks like the bombs went off and
and then it did do like really loud bullet shots randomly in the trailer. So I was kind of waiting for the Sniper Elite camera view to kick in, because at the beginning you hear,
I would have such different feelings about this game if the bullet cam came up. Yeah, it's Sniper Elite 12.
I wonder if it's going to have it though. Like, I don't know. Rebellion to me, like, they make fun games. They're never perfect. They always feel slightly janky, but they're fun. So I don't know. It's on Game Pass, so
Yeah. Hey,
I'm good with it. Next one you can talk about. I could honestly care less at this point.
and I feel exactly opposite. Assassin's Creed Shadows, I thought looked just amazing. I'll be honest. I think this is personal. The best Assassin's Creed were Valhalla and Black Flag. I thought by far, and those were the two that put them in different environments, different, just totally different settings. And this, to me, looked like it was right in line with those. I thought this looked incredible. This is one of my, I don't want to ruin it yet, but one of my top picks, I think, of the showcase was Shadows. And I didn't play all the Assassin's Creed. I'm not like a diehard every year. I skipped several of them because to me it just kind of looked like the same game over. minus those others. I was very excited about this one.
See, I play them. I just never have time to really get into them.
Mm-hmm.
So I just kind of was like, it's gonna just be the same gameplay. The only thing I wasn't sure of if it's now got 2-player co-op.
Yeah, because it looked like they were flashing back and forth and almost helping each other at times. So.
If it's a game where you switch characters though and it's single player, that is terrible. Don't ever do that. That's garbage. So that's the only thing that bothered me. I was like, then it came up, it's like Assassin's Creed, and I was like, well, crap.
Assassin's Creed Samurai, yeah.
I don't know.
So, you know. And then, I mean,
the very long talked about Stalker 2.
which was funny. Stalker 2, like
Stalker, I can't remember when the first Stalker
how many
came
Stalkers
out.
have they had?
They've just had the one.
Didn't they? They didn't have an.
They had an expansion to it.
Okay.
I think. But I mean, that game came out so long ago.
I was gonna say it's been a while.
They kind of like did a little bit of a. It wasn't even a remake. It was like a little graphical overhaul, I think. But
And it said Heart of Chernobyl. And I noticed those Chernobyl was not spelled the same. Either they had a type.
it was made in Ukraine.
So they spelled it the way they
spelled
wanted
it,
to?
Yeah, they spelled it their way.
They need to tell them not to.
Well, they're not going to. That's pride of Ukraine.
Stop that, Ukraine. Stop spelling things different. No.
I think it's going to be good.
I do too. It kind of had a military post-apocalyptic shooter, mutated enemies, supernatural events. It could be fun. I wrote, like...
So, and then, like, traditional Stalker ones, though, too, they have, like, survival elements, too. Like, you still have to manage your...
Yeah, I didn't
hunger
see
stuff.
that in the...
I think it's in there.
Yeah.
So, I think sometimes they don't want to show that to the mass audience because then people think it might be too hardcore for them.
Yeah.
Which it is kind of I mean, the other Stalker was a fairly hardcore.
Yeah,
game
I'm
to
all
play.
for it. I don't want it to go too far any which way. Like if, because I had that little orb thing floating around or whatever that was in the middle, and I'm like, I don't want to go too far into the weird alien crap. And then it's hard to say, mutations, aliens. I don't know what we're dealing with in this one, but it did look good. Looked like a pretty good shooter.
So now for the most unsurprising part, I think.
The hardware. Did Xbox put out the handheld that's been rumored? Did they announce it in this showcase?
They announced the leaked hardware that leaked like a year ago.
Yeah.
The all-digital Series X with the 1 terabyte, and then a new 2 terabyte version, which you need to play just Call of Duty and Warzone, because that takes up a terabyte of space now.
Yep. Series X.
And a 1 terabyte Series S.
Yep.
Cool.
And both were exactly the same, except one was X, one was S. They're both all digital, both in the robot white color. And then, like he said, the third one was called a Special Edition Series, 2 terabytes SSD drive in Galaxy Black.
Yep.
Who cares?
No, I mean, like, unless I can... No, I won't, because my Series X has a disc, and I still have some disc games. So no, I will not trade it in with a special offer to go to a 2 terabyte.
Yeah, I mean, it's just odd, seeing as you can attach your own drive to it anyway.
Well, you can't for Series X games. You have to use their special chip thing, which I think they might have just now done it. Recently did a 2 terabyte version. I think it might still just be 1 terabyte. So you're maxed out with 2 terabytes of space on Series X games.
I'm good with that.
And well, not if you're a Call of Duty player. That's 1 terabyte of space.
I'm not, so I'm good. Anyway, so me, that's absolutely pointless on these systems. I don't know. Here's the gift that nobody asked for, and it's a holiday release.
Well, and then the other stupid thing that leaked before that wasn't shown is Xbox is supposedly making that controller with haptic feedback to compete with the PlayStation's haptic feedback. I was expecting something else to be shown for hardware.
Yeah,
that was.
I know the handheld is what it was. It was a rumor that caught fire, but I think a lot of people had that. Come on, that's a good rumor. appease us, especially seeing the success
show
of,
something.
you know, the PlayStation handheld, how well it's done, and to ask Microsoft to, you know, one, check out the competitor. Two, you guys pride yourself on Game Pass, a whole streaming concept. You want to be the Netflix of gaming.
That's what I was thinking. I figured
know.
if they showed a handheld, it would have been a streaming handheld like the Portal.
Right.
And then it would have done cloud streaming with Game Pass games. Where the Portal, you can't do their cloud streaming right now.
And man, that would have, whatever. Like I said, it's a rumor. We're mad at a rumor. I can't be, but that was their holiday release.
I don't think that was even, to me, that wasn't even worth showing. Is new hardware.
No. And one funny thing the lady mentioned right after that, she slipped in there. She said, "Our commitment to game preservation," which kind of just hit me funny because aren't they closing the 360 store down and
then
getting
rid of disk drives?
Right. And so that was kind of an odd little, you know, just one real quick liner that she put in there. It didn't really fit.
Well, and then they dropped in the and future hardware, which because now all the rumors are basically that Microsoft brass is now controlling the Xbox division and saying you got to put more games in other systems. So now there's rumors of even Halo is on the table to go to PlayStation and stuff. So yeah, I understand making more money, but it feels more and more like this generation is. They might have one more, and then they're going the route of Sega.
Yeah, I could see that.
And to me, like if they announced a handheld, honestly, if they do announce a handheld, I bet it's going to be a Windows handheld. It's not going to be a custom Xbox one. I bet it's going to be a Windows one with like the Game Pass interface.
Yeah,
on the front. So
I mean, that's a big decision. That's one you can't go back on either. I mean, that's like you know, when there was talk about Mario, when they started putting those games on the phone, you know, a few of them.
Yeah.
But then the head of Nintendo's like, no, we're not throwing them on other systems because people thought that was the next logical maneuver. I mean, that, like I said, you can't come back from that. I'm not saying you can't succeed as it, you know, doing it, but
I mean, they're already getting there, though. I mean, if you think about it, the exclusives are slowly.
Yeah.
Which, if they do keep going that direction, then.
Yeah.
I mean, you might as well buy a PlayStation if you have a gaming PC, and then.
Yeah.
No more. And I love my Xboxes.
I do too. I like their controllers better.
And then the massive reveal at the end, after the hardware.
More Call of Duty.
No. Gears of War.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I did write that down.
Massive, exciting reveal.
One more surprise. Gears of War.
Nothing.
A fight.
A fight, and it's going to be on Game Pass. Great. Cool. Like, literally, you could have sat someone in a corner of a room and for the last like few months and had them animate the fight scene.
Yeah.
And just said, hey, cool, let's, I don't know.
E-Day. Gears of War E-Day.
No release year. Zero. Nothing. Like, why was that the big reveal?
Yeah.
Like, you should have.
That's why I said Call of Duty. I think I forgot about that.
Yeah, like.
I wrote it down, but.
Like, that should have been, like, the first thing to start off the show. Hey, a new Gears is coming. Now you can forget that we didn't show you or tell you anything with all these other games instead of making that the last thing they show. That was kind of. I play the Gears of War games, but
they're good, and I'm sure this will be good. But
come on,
yeah.
Now for the last big thing, and then that's what shows up.
Yeah.
Can't tell it angered me. It was stupid.
It sure did.
I was more excited to see Omni movement from Call of Duty than the Gears video.
Willow, Burrow, or whatever it is. So then after that, they did show the behind the scenes with Treyarch, Call of Duty. Zombies are back, and that's because zombies equal $signs. The campaign looked very high octane. Tied to the events of Black Ops 2, with new characters.
Which they do need to beef up the campaign, because the last year's Call of Duty campaign, like, everybody complained that it was not fun because they tried to do this open world thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, it can't be that bad because it's Call of Duty. And it's literally like you're in a larger map, like a multiplayer type map. And it's literally they like light up point A and point B.
Yeah.
And you just kill guys on the way, set off an alarm, complete the objective, and then you have to make it to the other side of the map. Like, it is pretty terrible.
Yeah. And I think that was a kind of a consensus of a lot of developers for a little while, for a few years, that, hey, you know, we're making all these microtransactions, all this money off of these multiplayer games. Let's sacrifice some of the campaign. And I think they're finding now that, you know, there is an audience.
I think some of the problem with the Call of Duty one too was Warzone got so big, so they're like, why don't we just make a huge, you know, go like the Ghost Recon type route or Far Cry route. They completely missed.
Yeah.
I mean, I've played it a little bit off and on, just testing it out on my Portal because I wanted to see Portal latency with a shooter real well.
Yeah.
And so I think that's why they're stressing the campaign again.
It did almost come off like an apology letter.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you come and see our offices. Come on in.
Yeah.
Come in.
You remember the stuff you loved in our old Call of Duty?
Yeah.
We're bringing it back.
Look at these guys working on the game. They have families. Please, you know.
Please believe us.
This
The
guy-
campaign's good, not just Warzone.
He brought his dog to work. Look, it's late night. He's programming for you. Yeah, it did. It seemed like just like this big apology.
I mean,
not that it doesn't look cool. It really does.
and then I saw it was 309 gigs, and that makes me question how I'm going to play it.
Better get that 2 terabyte monster. So, anyway, that pretty much ties it up. I did write down some what I called pre-launch awards that I'm going to give out.
The Greg Unpacker rewards.
Yeah, and so first one is the keeps trucking, but will they pick up new audience or simply retain what they have? And the games that fit that bill: World of Warcraft, Sea of Thieves, and Call of Duty 6. And I said Call of Duty because, again, I don't know if you're going to get a new audience. You're going to have a big audience, but, you know, 6 of them have gone by. I think you're pretty...
I mean, to me, Call of Duty's like Fortnite. It's just going to keep going and I think it just slowly grows. I think Warzone pulls people into Call of Duty, instead of the other way around.
But
the
Sea of
MMOs,
Thieves, World of Warcraft, nah.
Well, Sea of Thieves though just went on PS5, so it's naturally getting bigger. So this is their first update.
Yes, but this is an Xbox showcase,
right? So World of Warcraft. Somehow it magically brings back old players. They're not getting people that I don't think that haven't played it before.
Yeah. I almost threw Diablo on there, but Diablo's still new and I think still gaining an audience. So, let's see. The most unexpected, I put Gears E-Day, because I hadn't heard rumors about it myself. I don't listen to a lot of the, just like I said, the rumors, unless it's talking about the handheld that doesn't exist apparently. But Gears E-Day, yeah, it was just unexpected, and I think kind of still unexpected. We still don't know.
I mean, it's unexpected to them. The people that are on the company probably don't even know what they're making. I mean, I would probably, not saying it's good or anything, but probably the most unexpected one to me was the Atom Fall.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's good, but, you know, they keep trucking with Sniper Elite. You know, I figured there's Sniper Elite 6 once I saw the Rebellion logo and then the initial setting, and I think most of the stuff's been, you know, kind of rumored or brought up at this point.
Biggest disappointments.
Gears. Garbage, complete garbage.
It won a lot of awards.
State of Decay 3 probably for me because they didn't show anything and it's been so long. Like, I got excited when I knew it was State of Decay 3. You could tell pretty quick. And then they showed a fight on top of a car.
Yeah. I put the 3 new systems.
Oh.
Obviously, but
I forgot those existed already, kind of like you did Gears.
yeah, that was horrible.
Yeah.
This one was my biggest category, and it was the biggest resurgence for a modern audience. So, and I don't mean just games that are coming back. I mean that are coming back that have the potential to grab an entire new generation of gamers. And several titles made this list for me. Do you want me to read mine first, or do you want to
go for it?
So, Fable. And
I mean, if you think about it, a lot of gamers didn't even know what the original Fable was.
Right, and that's why I'm saying, like, it's, but in almost all these, and after I name them, I'll talk about it. But Fable, Age of Mythology, which we've said, Metal Gear, Doom Dark Ages, Perfect Dark, and then Flight Simulator 24. And the reason these made the list too is, yes, they're coming back. They're huge franchises, but almost every one of them, it looked like, at least as of at this stage, did something different than what they've done in the past. Age of Mythology. I mean, if you saw the old graphics, they're overhauled. It was actually pretty special looking, but they kept the gameplay. Doom Dark Ages. It's not just battling like these big squishy, yucky, fluidy monsters in the basement anymore. It's like I said, it looked like dang Master Chief put on the spikes and went to castle and started fighting or something.
Yeah, I mean,
and it's like, so they're taking these things and they're taking a risk on top of it, but they're calculated risk, good risk. Flight Simulator. Let's add careers. It's not just another version of this. And that's how, World of Warcraft kind of came off. Here's another version. They didn't show that they've gone a different direction and done much, anything special. But I feel like each of those games either, improved drastically or even just kind of twisted the game a little bit and added something else.
I agree. I guess the only one I'd probably slightly disagree with would have been Metal Gear, because I think it's just a remake, but it's bringing one of the random Metal Gears that didn't fit the mold of the other ones.
Yeah, and I guess that one probably didn't have any kind of special, twist to it, other than the graphics seem very updated and all.
But I feel like Doom for sure, like, to me, that it seems like it's actually adding a new element to a first-person shooter, which...
New scenes, new enemies. I mean...
I just feel like that shield combo is going to just... I mean, with the speed of a Doom game, I think that's just going to feel like a completely different game.
I agree. Most intriguing.
Ooh.
So we may not know much about it yet, but I want to know more.
Gears, no.
Those 3 consoles, man. What's inside of them?
So, even though it looked rough, I really liked the way South of Midnight, like, the theme of it was. Like, I don't know, that one interested me the most.
Mm-hmm.
Now, and then, I'm not talking about, like, excited to play the most, but I think that one, if I had to pick one game...
You can pick more than one.
That one, and then maybe... it's like, it's hard for me because, like, I knew Fables existed, but Fable looked pretty good too.
Yeah, and you know what you're getting with Fable, I think. I mean, maybe not, but like he said earlier on, they made it a point to say pick a side. You can choose sides. So they're letting the audience know you can, and letting old fans know it's still there. So,
and then, like I said, for me though, the South of Midnight, I just thought it was a different theme and potentially a really solid different gameplay that we haven't seen. We haven't seen like that big of a. I can't name another game that's used like giant creatures from the bayou
with
like,
islands on their back.
Yeah,
kind of sound like something from Moana.
Yeah. Yeah,
the crab.
so that was probably my couple that I thought.
So I actually had that as South of Midnight, but I also had Expedition 33. Something about that game really just caught my eye.
It caught mine too until I saw that it might be like a JRPG style gameplay. That's the only thing. Like everything else about it, I'm sold. It's just that gameplay style. Just I'll play it, but I never play them long.
Right. And then the last one, Winter Burrow, was the most intriguing.
The only reason I didn't kind of say that because I think you know what you're going to get, but it's going to be good.
You do. But you're a little mouse. And you get to survive as a little mouse, and you had your little house, and I don't know. Again, it's intriguing, and it's because, like I said before, in a world of some of these games are really starting to repeat themselves, and they're going to have to fight each other. It's just refreshing on some of these not new concept, but just a new take on something. And all right, and then here's another category: potential to miss the mark.
Oh, goody. I mean, I feel like Dragon Age is
Gears.
Gears already missed the mark. I feel like the biggest one out of my entire list to miss the mark, Perfect Dark.
Okay.
I mean, the concept and everything looks great. I just don't trust a game that gets delayed for so long. And
It's only been like 15 years or something.
I just feel like and first-person shooters at this point have gotten so good, like control scheme-wise and being fluid and everything. I'm worried. Perfect Dark worries me.
I get it.
If it even comes out in the next 6 years.
They wouldn't do that to you. Any others?
I mean, most of them I kind of made my opinions on. So, I guess State of Decay 3. Since they didn't show Jack on that thing. That one,
Yeah.
You know, anytime you reinvent a pretty solid game and you try to reinvent it.
Dead Rising. Remember that last one? Yeah, it wasn't the same.
Yeah, whenever you try to reinvent something that was pretty good, it was just becoming slightly stale, then
Yeah.
it's either it really hit or it's a complete miss. It's not really in between.
Yeah. So I had, and this one hurt, Indiana Jones. Again, a lot of it's because it is a movie game. The movie actually missed the mark. I enjoyed the movie, not as the last one that came out, and not as much as the other movies, minus Crystal Skull, but we don't talk about that one.
I was like, you're missing a pretty big one.
The first three. I'm just worried. You know, may not have the audience. Maybe people aren't into the, kind of the whip-toting adventure anymore.
I feel like it's going to come out and just be like a game that's like a, 7 out of 10.
Yeah.
Just average. It's there.
Also put Adam Fall. Kind of same thing. Like he said it was unexpected. I'm like, if it doesn't hold its own, it's gonna be compared to Fallout, like I did when I saw it. And you don't want to be a inferior Fallout. That's a pretty high bar. And Dragon Age, the Veilguard, like I said, I don't know what the fan base is like for Dragon Age anymore. It's been so long as well. And then the last one, Fallout 76, and I'm just worried that might come off like almost like an unfinished product, that they're just capitalizing off the show and let's get it out.
We'll find out next week.
Yeah. So those were my potential to miss the mark. And then top show picks. Honestly, I only put one. I could probably pick a couple, but Assassin's Creed really looked good to me.
See, I would probably say Doom.
That and that's a good one.
Because I don't know. I just got super excited seeing a shielded
Yeah.
shotgun that you could block bullets and then just start wasting people.
And I would not argue that one. I mean that,
like
totally.
I was expecting Doom to just like, whenever I saw that it was going to be like a medieval Doom, I thought they were just going to give him like a sword instead of a chainsaw potentially and some big new bad guys. And then I was like, that's actually
I hope
new
he
gameplay.
just picks up the guy and smashes him on his own shoulder on the spikes.
That'd be cool.
Throws him. I mean, if you guys still got time to animate that, please put that in there. Just smash and throw. Yeah. So all in all, I enjoyed it. The trailers and
Yeah, I mean, I think it was decent, especially if you have Game Pass and you plan on staying Game Pass.
if you're on Game
I mean,
Pass, you got some money to spend.
Yeah, I mean, they're just showing you that.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I had basically, I mean, Game Pass was probably what, on 80%
Yeah.
of what was shown.
Well, like I said, I mean, their goal is to be the Netflix of gaming. That
Yeah,
is exactly where they're going. So
I mean, if you're not on Game Pass and you're interested in like 4 of these games, then it pays for Game Pass.
Right.
But my other thing when I saw it, almost all the release dates that are 2025,
yeah.
there's no way those are all coming out in 2025. They never do.
No, and also doesn't leave a whole lot for 2024 either. I mean, there were some, but
Well, it's like, you know,
not a huge, for over half the year to be left. You're
So-
still kind of weak schedule.
But then, you know, some of the MIA stuff, there was nothing shown for Forzas.
Nope.
There was nothing shown for Halo. I mean, they've kind of ditched Halo
I was
Infinite
gonna say,
at
I
this
think
point.
they've given up on Halo for now.
There's rumor of a Halo 1 remaster now, which,
I mean,
but the big part is they might put it on PlayStation.
yeah,
But there wasn't either of those. They show a garbage Gears thing. Like, all their biggest franchises that are Microsoft, non-existent.
yeah.
And then, for being so Game Pass focused, where's the Activision game drop on Game Pass? Like, you know, you got Crash Bandicoot, Spyro, Tony Hawk's. You can't tell me it takes over a year to put a game to make it work on Game
No.
Pass. I mean, it's like, it's got to be literally probably clicking a button unless it has some weird online account registration.
Yeah, no, that's
Like, that's ridiculous.
I don't
like,
know.
I was expecting a drop of that in the showcase where it was like, by the way, here's blah, blah, blah,
yeah.
all this Activision stuff on Game Pass. Like, I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what their plan is on that. So,
I question their leadership right now. I mean, it's a funny time, and I think they're just reacting. I mean, you think about, even at the stores, all the physical games are gone. Like, Target, Walmart, Best Buy, they're already gone, and so they're pushing this digital. People don't want to let go of the physical, and then you've got, well, people are still picking PlayStation over Xbox. Well, how can we fix that? There's just a lot of questions, and they're trying to, I don't know, they're trying to come up with answers, but I don't know what they're basing it on.
no, like,
Like,
I don't know. Like, you throw Diablo on the Game Pass, which actually has more of a harder entry because you have to then integrate it through Battle.net.
mm-hmm.
But you can't even throw Crash or Spyro. Like, just do something.
Yeah.
Do something.
Have an arcade section, kind of thing, or
It's
a
just like
classic section or something.
It's like, I don't know. To me, they didn't show anything that was like, let me go out and get an Xbox for.
Yeah.
Like, because Doom's going to be multi-platform, I bet. There's no way that's probably going to
Oh
be
yeah,
exclusive.
I'm sure.
Call of Duty's multi-platform. Dragon Age is, I'm sure, multi-platform. Like, most of the big things they showed are multi-platform.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Like, if it was just a game, a game showcase, solid. But as a Xbox showcase, I kind of thought it was.
Yeah.
There wasn't anything that I was just, normally they try to throw something big out there.
Yeah, there was no oh crap moment. Like,
yeah,
you
I thought maybe the final one was like, oh, here it is, because they changed the world premiere to red instead of the graphics instead of green,
Yeah.
and then they show a fight in a bedroom. Cool. Whatever that game was.
what you've been waiting for.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah, a good showcase. Nothing you couldn't predict, other than those original titles. But definitely some things to look forward to. A lot of them when. I don't know when you get to look forward to it, but should be good nonetheless whenever they decide to come out.
Yeah.
And anyway, we wanted to share our feelings with it right after they had the event and see what you guys think. Let us know in the comment. Hey, do you guys have some picks and surprises and things you're looking forward to? And we'd appreciate the feedback on that. It's nice to get it.
Yeah, and let us know. I mean, like you said, we play all the systems. We just lean a little towards Xbox because of multiplayer sometimes, but we play everything. So let us know your thoughts, and
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, hope you enjoyed our special Sunday edition.
Yeah. Until next time.